Hello everyone, it's Jill here and welcome to my craft channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I've made this beautiful little card. It's all about fairies and the fairy foragers and the little fairy pods. So how did we do that? So to start with, I've got a 5x7 card, and here's a piece of card here. I'm using the Lavinia multifarious card. Before we start, I've got to make some masks, so we're going to be doing a bit of that today. So I've got the fairy pods, the two sizes, and I'm going to ink up in the Twilight. So as you can see, I don't need the whole stem because we're only using the tops of the pods. We'll do that. Now how I make my masks is I use some little notes, and I'm just going to stamp there because I want quite a few of these, and I've done it over by the side where it's connected, so we've got the glue there. So I need 4 of this size. So what I do is I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can cut that out straight away from there, and I've got 4 masks by doing it this way. So do exactly the same again with the smaller one. But I want 5 of these, so I'm just going to pop that on there. And I only want 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm not going to make you watch me cut all these out. I will come back to you when I've done that. So I've cut all the little masks out, and as you can see, by doing that you end up with quite a few, and you've only had to stamp once and cut once. I've cut the little frond bits off with the dots on here because we don't need to worry about those. And here, as you can see, I've done a little bit of a halo, but that doesn't really make much difference for what I want to do with them. So first of all, let's just get my little fairy pods stamped up. So here we go, and I'm going in again with the Twilight. So that's the first one. Let's pop that down with its little mask on it. Do another one up here, I think. And again, little mask. As you can see, there's just about enough stick on the side of the post-it just to hold that down. Pop that one down a little bit lower, I think. There we go. So I think I'm going to be using the 3 this time instead of 4 like I've got on my other card. This might just be a little bit narrower, this one that I've cut. There we go. Then we come in with the smaller of the pods. There. So it just takes a tiny bit of time just to do this. There we are. So that's those done. And then the other bit of greenery, if you like, that I wanted to use is the field grass. And I'm going to do that in Warm Breeze. And what I want to do is just grab a little bit of card here. I want to stamp off with this because it's quite dark and bright. sorry, you can't see what I'm doing there, can you? So, stamp off. A bit of grass there, I think. Yeah, so I think that's enough of that. So that's what we've got at the moment. Oops, nearly put my lid on back upside down. That'll never do. Let's wipe that off. It all looks a bit scrappy at the moment. I'll take a bit of paper out from the back. I'm just going to clean my mat a minute because I've got a bit of overspill up the top here. Right, so that's what we're left with when we've done all that. So now we can take our little masks off. I'm going to keep the masks because I might want them again in a minute. And I'm actually going to colour the fairy pods. Now I'm colouring them with some Inktense pencils. So I've got violet, iris blue and fuchsia. So I'm going to start with the violet, and it's quite, you can follow the stamp here, it's quite dark up the top here, you can see where all the shading is. So I'm just going to colour the top there and a little bit around the bottom here on each of the pods. Right, so now I've done that one, I'm going to come in with the fuchsia, and I'm going to start at the top again and just bring that down a bit more. Now I've got a moon I'm going to put in over here, so it's going to bring the light this way, so I'm going to leave each side of these pods at the front here with a little bit of white space. Right, now I'm going to bring in the blue. There we are. So you can see it just takes a tiny little bit of time to do that. Now to activate the colours. I've got my water brush. Excuse me. Sorry. And my water brush isn't very good, so I just tend to add got a little tiny pot of water here that sometimes I dip into as well. So we can just activate these by starting at the top and bringing the water down. Obviously you don't want to go over these little white bits too much, because they're the bits that you want to have the light on them. You can see by putting one colour over the other, it just blends them in beautifully. There we are. So once you're happy with your colours of your pods, we just need to quickly dry that off a moment. Right, so that's nice and dry. So now we've got to get some colour onto the background. Now to do this, I've gone back to the masks again. I'm going to mask each one, but I'm going to take the little thing off the top here, otherwise you end up with this little white halo around this part when we're putting the colour in, which happened to me last time, and I thought, oh well, okay, live and learn. There we go. There we go. So that's all ready to go. So I am using some picked raspberry and some violet chalk. So I've got my little brushes. First of all, I just need to mask across. I need something to hold on to. That one's come off. And what I'm going to do is sort of phase this up in darker to lighter. So I'm going to start with the violet chalk. So I need to start on the paper and go this way. So I'm going to take a bit of that off because it's quite a dark colour, this one. Just gently bring it down this way. Oops, lost that one. doesn't want to stick. Never mind, it sort of does the job. I'll just take a little bit of time to do this. I'm going to move up a bit. I'm going to go in with the picked raspberry. Now the picked raspberry is an even stronger colour, so I just need to take a lot more of that off. And this one I'm actually going to phase in with a bit of the violet chalk as well. Snare up. You can see it doesn't look as though much is going on there, but you can see once you move the paper how much has actually gone on. I'm just going to put my lid on my violet chalk. Come back to the picked raspberry again. Oh, that's come out quite dark. Never mind. It's amazing how much you get on your brush. Right, let's just go with what we've got left on the brush now. And probably a bit more of the violet up the top here. So you can just play around with this until you get the look that you want, really. That'll do. Right, I'm going to leave my masks on for the moment because I want to stamp some words. And I've got the, this is the Make-A-Wish. So let me find a block. Pop that onto there. And I'm going to go in with the Warm Breeze. But obviously this is quite a dark colour and I don't want that much in my background. Let me just take that off a minute. So I'm going to stamp off a few times so that I've got the colour that I want. That's 1, 2, yeah, let's go with the third. Yeah, that's good. And again. So every time you do these things, these cards, you will find that each one is different. They don't always come out the same. There we are, that's great for that background. Now I'm going to take my masks off. And we've got some lovely colour into the background. And the next little thing I did then was to stamp my little fairy foragers, which are here. And I'm going with the Twilight for these. So where are we? Just check that you've got the ones that you want, where you want them. And this little one, I think, over here. So I'm going to start with this one first. Pop her there. There she is. Next one. And a final little fairy, I think. Maybe here. Lovely. They look lovely. Right, so it's time to put in a bit more colour around the edges. So I'm coming in with the Warm Breeze to start with. And I'm just going to use my little tool here. Pick up some colour again, it's quite a strong colour. So let's start off the mat, off the card, and come into the mat here, into the picture, sorry. You can see there's quite a lot of it still on the mat, the colour, so you can just pull that in. Plenty of circular little motions on this one. You don't want any great big lines everywhere. So I start with the lightest of the two colours that I'm going to use, using this, and then I'm going to use the Imperial Purple in the verse mark. There we go, that's that one. Oh, sorry, just dropped my tool, bear with me. Just rolled off the desk. Right, I'm just going to take this off before I start with the purple. There we are, it's the Imperial Purple. Oh, smudge. Never mind. Happens. Oh my goodness. Right, there we go. Oh, sorry. Let's wipe that off. Now my moon, I'm just going to pop into here. I'm just going to pull my little sponge off, pick up some more of the purple. Make sure my hand's clean this time. So you might want to take a bit more time than I have. And start on the mask. And just gently bring the colour out from the mask. And now remove the mask. How pretty is that? It's quite stark, so I'm just going to take a bit more colour off and just gently put a little bit in the moon. Just to tone that down just a smidge. Okay. So there's that. So now really it's all about finishing off. So ideally you really want to let that dry, which I think I'm just about going to do first, and then I will come back and we'll do all the finishing off. So my card's all lovely and dry now, so I can start doing bits and pieces. So first of all, I'm going to draw a few stars in with my Signo pen. And it was quite nice just to do a few little stars about the place. Since it's twilight, don't want many. So a few little stars there. The little tiny dots that we had here, I'm just going to go over some of those in white as well. So it's barely noticeable, these things, but as a whole, when the card is finished, it just all adds to the overall effect. Right, so now I've done that, I'm just going to do some little white bits up and down. Right, my little smudges that I've done here, I think I might do some fairy dust. Yeah, little fairy dust. This little one here, I might give her some fairy dust as well, just to balance it out. And this one. Right, just make sure that's quickly dry again. And we're just going to glitter all of these lovely little fronds coming off of the top of the fairy pods. So I'm going to use my Quickie glue pen, and I've got some beautiful Nuvo glitter here. So I'm only doing the ones on the top, I'm not doing the little ones that are coming out the bottom. Bit fiddly, but take your time. Look at that colour. Isn't that gorgeous? It's almost like a mermaidy colour. And then I'll just get my little brush, which I haven't got for some reason. Normally I get a little brush and I just brush the excess off. Let's just give it a flick. And then you can just, if it's annoying you, that glitter, you can just go in with something and just brush it off. And there you have the most beautiful little fairy pod card. And you just mount that onto your card. My card's open sideways. And I'm just going to pop that onto there. And that is great. You can just put your little messages across, your happy birthday, whatever you want to do. So I hope that's given you a little bit of inspiration. And thank you very much for watching. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now.